Okay, we are now looking at requirement 4, evaluation of the ability to pay debts. So let's look at our spreadsheet. And here we are focusing on our liabilities. The first measurement we want to look at is the acid test ratio, which has already been given in your data. And it's basically the ratio of everything that you have that you could convert to cash quickly compared to your current liabilities. So you want this ratio, you want to look at that. And then you want to look at the current ratio. And this is your current assets divided by your current liabilities. So if you look at our current assets, if you look on your financial summary and look at year 2014, your current assets are your current assets plus your merchandise inventory. Those would be considered your current assets. You have to take those two together. So we're going to do the sum of these two and then we're going to divide that by our current liabilities and we're going to get a ratio. Now this is not we just want this to be a regular ratio, a regular number here. So we're going to copy this formula over, hopefully it will work. And as you see here, our current ratios are 2.28, 1.71, 1.68, 1.78, and 1.71. And we'll go back to those in just a second, but just look at the trend there. And then we're going to do the debt ratio, which is the total liabilities to the total assets. So we have total liabilities. You have to add your total liabilities up. If you look on your financial summary, you have current liabilities and you have long-term debt. So you have to do the sum of those. So we're going to do the sum of these two, the liabilities divided by our total assets. And let's make sure that I may need to let's see, I may need to change this so we get, now let's change this to a percentage. So 47%, let's go up to 46.7% and let's copy this formula over. So as you can see here, our debt ratio, our ratio of total liabilities to total assets is increasing somewhat. It went up and then it's kind of going back down. So we'll look at that and we'll analyze that in just a second. Now let's do our debt equity ratio. Let's do our total liabilities. Our total liabilities compared to our total equity, so divided by total equity, and let's change that to a percentage, and we get 87.7%. And for this ratio, let's just leave it as a number here. And let's copy that over. So you will see that it went up and then went back down. And then we also have our time interest earned ratio, which is net income plus income tax expense plus interest expense. So the sum of these divided by our interest, and you can see that is 7.53, and we'll copy that over. And you can see those numbers. So let's analyze this real quick. So let's do our times interest earned ratio. That's very important. So now that we have actually, I kind of got ahead here. This should just be the sum. And let me copy that over. I got ahead, sorry. And then let's change it to dollar. Let's just do the sum here, and then let's actually take this sum and divide by the interest expense down here. And now we can see the time interest earned. How many times we earned the interest. We went from 7 times all the way up to 25 times. So let's analyze what we found. It looks like the current and quick ratios are fairly high. And what this does is this indicates that the company can pay its liabilities, which is a good thing. I want to know if I'm going to invest in a company, can they pay off the debt they owe? The company's debt to total assets is not extraordinarily high. So that will facilitate, let me do this. Let me get this. Which will facilitate the company making all payments for debts. The times interest earned has increased from 2014 to 2018, which is favorable. I didn't make that fit exactly. I'll have to go back, but let me read it again. The current ratio and quick ratios are fairly high. This indicates that the company will pay its liabilities. The company's debt to total assets is not extraordinarily high, which will facilitate the company making all payments for debt. And the time interest earned has increased from 2014 to 2018, which is favorable. And that concludes requirement